Also, one more question. I had a story on Morning Edition this morning which talked about how Philadelphia's black political leaders came out early in support of Senator Clinton, but several have switched. And one was quoted as saying the turning point for her was during the South Carolina primary when you referenced Jesse Jackson and what she interpreted as marginalizing Obama as the black candidate. I mean, do you think that was a mistake, and would you do that again?
No, I think that they played the race card on me. And we now know from memos from the campaign and everything that they plan to do it all along. I said, if you go back to what I said, first of all, there was a conversation that I engaged in that included 2 African-American members of Congress who were standing right there who were having a conversation with me. And I said that Jesse Jackson had won a good campaign with overwhelming African-American support and white supporters. And this was started off because people they wanted to act like, for reasons I didn't understand, that Senator Obama didn't have this African-American support, or they thought his white support was better because Jesse Jackson had blue-collar working people, and most of Senator Obama's support were upscale cultural liberals. So it was like beneath them to be compared to Jesse Jackson. I respect Jesse Jackson. He's a friend of mine, even though he endorsed Senator Obama. One of his sons and his wife endorsed Hillary. Their whole family is divided. But his campaign in 1988 was a seminal campaign in American history. It was the first campaign ever to openly involve gays. Hillary's chief delegate counter, Harold Ickes, worked his heart out for Jesse Jackson. I frankly thought the way the Obama campaign reacted was a disrespectful to Jesse Jackson. And I called him and asked him if he found anything offensive. And he just laughed and he said, of course I don't. We all know what's going on. I mean, this was just, you got to really go some to play the race card with me. My office is in Harlem. And Harlem voted for Hillary, by the way. And I have 1.4 million people around the world, mostly people of color, in Africa, the Caribbean, Asia, and elsewhere on the world's least expensive AIDS drugs. I appointed more African-American, Hispanic, and women judges and U.S. attorneys than all previous presidents put together and had 9 African-American cabinet members. I was stating a fact, and it is still a fact. I was amazed that we got almost 20% of the African-American vote in South Carolina, and I think it was because we had so many local officials who believed in Hillary and stuck their necks out for her, some of which were threatened with their jobs. But I concede that this was used against me, but this was a conversation that occurred early in the morning. We didn't even know what the vote was going to be at the time. We were all sitting around drinking coffee. We'd just been to breakfast, and we were talking about South Carolina political history. And this was used out of context and twisted for political purposes by the Obama campaign to try to breed resentment elsewhere. And, do I regret saying it? No. Do I regret that it was used that way? I certainly do. But you really got to go some to try to portray me as a racist.
Okay. Well, thank you very much, Mr. President.
Thank you. I hope everybody will go out and vote tomorrow. Bye-bye. I don't think I should take any shit from anybody on that, do you?